Welcome to the teaching on Evening Primrose. So I have Evening Primrose behind me right here, and this is actually my driveway full of gravel. Right here she's growing out of this mulch bed with the roses, but this plant is also starting to grow out of the driveway. So Evening Primrose is a biennial, which means that its life cycle is 2 years long. And so in the first year, Evening Primrose is just the leaves, the greens, a little shoot. The root is small. And so this is growing all in my driveway because of the seeds that were released last year. And these are the first year plants that are growing just up through the gravel. And as we know, a lot of the really substantial, abundant, and kind of full spectrum helpful plants can grow in these really amazing capacities, like through sidewalk cracks and through gravel driveways and such. So this is one plant that is very abundant in a lot of different places. And Evening Primrose is a native to the Americas, to North and South America. So it is a plant that has been here for a long time. It was not brought over by colonists from Europe. It is one that is at home here, and or at least where I am. And this plant is just so lovely. This is the second year plant behind me. So it's larger. This one actually is like fallen over and down, but it's made it a lovely opportunity to see the Evening Primrose in this video. But usually she is growing straight up and is quite tall and has these bright sunny yellow flowers that bloom more in the evening time. And right now when I'm filming this, it is kind of morning time, and so it's still cool out. This plant especially is in the shade right now, and so the flowers have not closed yet. They're still open. But when the sun hits the plant and it gets too hot, she will close her flowers to protect herself, to protect her energy, because her medicine really does lie in this more cooler, mystical, nighttime, twilight energy. And so the Evening Primrose has a lot of medicine in divine timing and learning how to open and close portals in a very masterful way that is in alignment with the true divine and your true self. So this is the ultimate message of Evening Primrose and why I chose to include her in the portal teaching. And so you can see here the yellow flowers that have this really deep opening. She doesn't open her petals out wide to like spread and show off her insides. She actually keeps her precious inner jewels, the inner stamens and such, protected, almost veiled in like a cup form. So this is her wisdom of protecting what is valuable, what is sacred, and not opening. It's like knowing how much she needs to open, and it's just right. It's like just the right amount to keep her safe, but still allow this opening to receive in what she desires, what she yearns for. And so these beautiful yellow flowers, they have 4 petals. So this plant has a lot of energies with the number 4, which is all about groundedness, stability. You can think of the 4 corners of a building. You can think of the 4 directions in the medicine wheel. So this number 4 with the evening primrose, you can also think of it as being so much about time with the medicine wheel in the 4 directions. And you can think of it as like a clock. And so evening primrose does have a lot of medicine to share with us about what time really is. And it's really this transcendence of time through the portals into other dimensions that can truly enlighten us to the expansiveness of what time really is. You know, we're in this almost like stuckness in one timeline, in like one time period, which is this linear past, present, future, you know, the day, the night that we see as these endings and beginnings, when really true time is spiralic. It's not even just circular, it's spiralic, where it continues through, like it's extroverted and introverted. Like the spiral of time moves both ways throughout. It's not just an upward motion, it is also a downward motion. So it's this spiralic existence that extends throughout all existence. That's a link. There's like you can think of the spiral as this thread that links timelines together. So, you know, we're on this one timeline. That's like the linear time that most people on Earth right now only perceive, this one timeline. Many of us are beginning to experience multiple timelines simultaneously, and this is what Evening Primrose has to teach us in this really embodied, dynamic way. And so without even needing to know much about that concept, because it is a quite, you know, esoteric, abstract concept to us, this jumping timelines and multidimensional ways of being, Evening Primrose, if you choose to work with her, and especially taking her as an essence, or, you know, the tincture of her in small drop doses, like 2 or 3 drops at a time, can awaken you to this embodiment of multidimensional time, of this spiralic nature of time, without you needing to read anything or, you know, have a teacher teach you anything about it. It'll be your own inner wisdom that reveals my puppy's playing with the plant, that reveals the true nature of time that we've almost been shut off to. So we've forgotten about it. And so you can see on this plant that the seed pods are beginning to form. So right now it is actually September 1st, so it's getting into the later part of summer, and the seed pods are starting to form. I'm trying to see if there's any bigger ones. I don't see any bigger ones on this plant, but they get fatter and wider and form these seed pods that have these little black, peppery tasting seeds. I find them quite delicious. You can harvest them and use them in your cooking, kind of sprinkle them on your salads and stuff. And also the seed is used as a very valuable oil, like a cold pressed oil. And so you do need an oil press for this process. But the cold pressed oil has extremely valuable medicinal properties in its ability to, for one, give to your body these essential fatty acids, these oils that the body craves and needs to function properly. So this has a lot to do with your endocrine system and the glandular system. Oils always have a beneficial effect on the hormonal system of the body, and this is also linked to the chakras, the health and vitality of the chakras. So having enough of these fatty acids, these essential fatty acids, and these oils in your body, and especially ones from plants are so beneficial. So, this like olive oil, but this evening primrose seed oil is especially valuable in the opening process. So this plant is well known for its ability to help induce labor because it helps to soften and open the cervix, the opening of the birth canal. It's the portal opening of the birth canal. And so evening primrose has this ability to gently and intelligently soften and open. So it's very much a plant of embodying this duality of surrender and action. Because in the birth process, and we'll get into this more in a later lesson of this moon cycle, in the opening process of the cervix, and you can also extend this to opening any portal, there is a unique balance and harmony of this dichotomy of surrender and action. Surrender and softening, relaxing and letting go so that the opening can take place, and then the action step to be able to step through. And so evening primrose is a plant that can help you to align in this balanced harmony of surrender and action. So it can help you in the process of surrendering to the divine will of the portals of destiny that you are meant to enter, and also to ignite your willpower to step through the portals. So evening primrose, especially being this bright yellow flower, has so much of this sacral chakra energy of activating this willpower, this will. And so it's like the surrendering to the divine will, and then also igniting, initiating the action of your personal will. And this interplay between this dynamic is what creates movement and change and venturing into the beyond. Okay, so let's see what else evening primrose wishes to share. I will say that on that note of the dichotomy of the surrender and action, the medicinal properties of this plant are very sedative and then also astringent. And so the sedative qualities is the relaxing. This is relaxing the muscles, relaxing the nervous system, especially with this plant. And the astringency is the tightening, the constricting, the pulling together, the bringing it all into a manageable form to be able to work with the energies to make change and to move through these openings that are available. So you can use evening primrose in tincture or tea form or in food as a nervine, so to relax the nervous system, to harmonize the nervous system. It can help with tension headaches, any kind of tension oversensitivities. So if you feel, or especially children, if you have a child who struggles with oversensitivity, like they get overstimulated quite easily, then evening primrose is a lovely plant to work with. And you can work with small drop doses with this plant, so really 2 to 3 drops, 2 to 3 times a day, to really notice the beneficial effect of what this plant has to offer. So insomnia, restlessness, these are other problems that this plant can help with. And then also the the astringency and sedative qualities, and it's mostly the leaves, the stem, the bark at the root. The astringency and sedative properties can also help your digestive system, the gastrointestinal system. So, this is the solar plexus area of the body, because it helps to relax. So if you're having like any kind of digestive problems, there's a tension that happens. And so Evening Primrose can help relax that solar plexus tension, and this helps to open the portal of your solar plexus chakra. And then the astringency is like the drying out, and it helps to bring the heat and the fire to really ignite the digestive system to function properly. You can also make a syrup of the flowers for whooping cough and asthma, so issues of the lungs. It really helps to relax and also tighten the tissues. So it is a known medicine for whooping cough and asthma. Okay, what else do I want to share? Let's see what wants to come through about the inner child, because this plant, Evening Primrose, is so beneficial for children and your own inner child. She has this playful dancing quality to her. She's almost like this innocence that also is fully connected to the divine intelligence that she can have. It's almost like the Fool in the tarot cards. The Fool is the first card of the deck. It's the zero, it's the void, it's the adventurous fool who takes the risk and a leap of faith and jumps into the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen, but it's just like, you know what? I'm living, I'm alive, I'm going to take this risk and just see what happens, and does it with his whole heart. This is the Fool. And so Evening Primrose has a lot of those qualities, but the Fool is actually so divinely intelligent because the Fool knows that ultimately nothing bad can happen. Even if there is hardships and struggles, even if there's death, there's always more beyond. The Fool is so tuned in to the truth that there is never truly an ending and beginning. It is all one. This is that zero, the void. It is all contained in that cycle that is infinite and endless. And so the Fool can jump in, not knowing if something good or something bad is going to happen, but has this faith of knowing that ultimately whatever is good moves into bad, and whatever is bad moves into good, and vice versa. And it's a continuous cycle of this life and death, expansion, contraction, inhale, exhale. And Evening Primrose brings these wisdoms, these teachings of this divine intelligence, of the infinite cycle of life. You can also see this as that spiralic timelines we were talking about, or thread of time. Brings it into an embodiment, brings you into your body with this knowledge, with this knowing that all is okay, all is all right. So you might as well dance your way through life, be playful, be in the ebb and flow of the infinite, ongoing cycles that are going to take you for the ride anyway. The ebb and flow of the ocean, the phases of the moon, the inhale, the exhale is going to take you on the ride, whether you are willing or whether you're resistant. It's going to take you on the ride. So the Fool has that intelligence, that faith to know if he chooses to jump in, he is making this choice to surrender to this divine intelligence and go for the ride in a way that is allowing himself to be in the fluid nature of the ebb and flow of the waters, rather than in this resistance where you will end up being kind of like bashed around in the waves because you're not allowing yourself to just jump in and be in it. And so Evening Primrose, I mean, as you can see, this plant just has so much to offer, and it's such this, just simple weed that when you really work with this plant, can take you into this like infinite knowing of this esoteric wisdom, but in this like childlike, playful, grounded, embodied way. It's not highly intellectual. It's very much, being in, walking your talk. It's like that. So Evening Primrose really brings you into walking your talk, and I would even say dancing your talk, dancing your walk, dancing your truth. This plant is also very joyful and alive. So again, that's that inner child, that childlike nature of just being, enthusiastic about life. Evening Primrose has so much enthusiasm infused into her. And when you work with her, especially when you make an essence of her flowers, you are then infused with a newfound enthusiasm for life. So I really do encourage you to either purchase an essence if you don't have access to this plant, or if you are learning about her during the winter time when she is not growing. You can purchase an essence either from me or your local medicine person. But if you do have an opportunity to be around her when she is blooming, do make an essence of her, say some prayers, set a bowl of water out with some of her beautiful, vibrant, four-petaled flowers, and then enjoy igniting and surrendering to your enthusiasm for your life.